Hello, my name is Josiah Rea, and I'm going to show you how to draw lines using Java. Now this is usually a pretty simple thing to do. I'm going to use NetBeans, which is the recommended IDE from Oracle, to program in Java. And with some of Java's later updates, it's become more difficult to generate graphics using code, but I'm going to show you sort of the correct way to do that, and once you get it down, it's not too difficult. So here we are inside of NetBeans, and I'm going to go to File, New Project. And we want to select Java Application. And I'm just going to name this Draw Stuff. And make sure that Create Main Class is checked. Sometimes you don't need to do this, but occasionally it'll create problems for you. And so we say Finish. And so this creates our new project for us. And if we expand down the Draw Stuff packages, we can see that we have this file created. And what we want to do is create a new, right-click on the Draw Stuff package and go to New, JFrame form. And that will generate sort of the background and everything that we can use to craft our graphics onto. And we'll just call this Draw Form. Finish. And if we run this, it should look like a Windows form. But before we do that, we're going to right-click on the original Draw Stuff Java and delete it, just so that it doesn't get run when we try to run the program. And select Safety Delete. That way no little bits are kind of left in there to cause problems for us later. And with Draw Form selected, come up here to click Run. And it will tell you that there was no class found for it, and that's because the original class we just deleted. So we're going to sort of redefine it that this is the main part that we want to now work with. Click OK. All right, and so you see this is generated for us a little window, and it's automatically filled in all the little graphics and stuff around it. So we're right on schedule. This is perfect. So X out of that. And what we're going to do first is we're going to drag one of these panels from the swing containers onto the form. And the reason that we're doing that is you can't actually draw graphics directly onto the form. It'll mess the program all up. So instead we make this little box and we're going to draw inside that. So I'll make that a little bit bigger and resize the form just a little bit. And we'll right click on this panel and go to Events, Mouse clicked. So basically, we're going to start drawing our graphics when somebody clicks on this little box that we've drawn. So right here, we're going to start defining some variables. But before we do that, come up to the top of this package. So we're going to come up to just above this class declaration and put an import statement in. Java dot, and we want the AWT graphics. And that's going to let us sort of mess with the graphics in that little box that we created. So back down to our mouse clicked code. We'll define a variable starting with graphics, G, and this is going to equal the panel, so J panel1 dot, and just put get graphics. And I'm using G for my variable just because that's sort of a standard, a holdover standard from the older way of doing things. And you'll see a lot of code online that has that, so just to kind of make it simpler. And this is going to set that variable to equal the graphics inside the little box. So anything we do to that variable will be done inside the box. So the draw statement itself is actually very, very simple to execute at this point. Just say G dot draw, and we'll come down to this draw line. And this is one of the reasons that we're using an IDE instead of hard coding inside of a notepad or something, is because it will bring up all of these extra little things to help us out and help our coding go a bit quicker. And this kind of looks a little bit confusing at first, but it's not too hard. The first two are the X and Y coordinates of where you want to start, and the last two are the X and Y coordinates of where you want to end. So if you think of your box as being a grid, It's kind of like the mathematics with a coordinate system. So it can take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not hard once you get some practice in it. So I'm going to start in the upper right corner and kind of draw diagonally down. So upper right, we'll start with a 0, 0. And the numbers get bigger as you move across the form and as you move down the form. So we'll come out to 200 by 200. And let's test that real quick. Let's hit the run button. All right, so our form is up, looking beautiful as usual. Let's click in the box that we created. And there's our line. So once you get it set up, the statement to execute that really is not difficult at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to create lines using Java, and you can expand this to basically draw any kind of graphic you want. Thank you for watching.